Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem amma ba'd. So inshallah, while the brothers set up the presentation and we can start the program, just a few points before that. First and foremost, an introduction to our visiting scholar. So our visiting scholar is Maulana Hamza Wardak from Canada, and alhamdulillah, he is an imam, he is a principal of a school, he is a registered social worker, doing a lot of service for the community. And alhamdulillah, I don't want to speak too much. You shouldn't praise a person too much in front of him. But above all else, I would say, aside from being a hafidh and a alim, which is the greatest achievements, he is also a qari. And when we say the word qari, sometimes somebody thinks, oh, I'm a qari too. Because qari just means somebody who can read, right? Somebody who can recite, somebody who recites. The word Arabic, it means somebody who can recite. But when we say qari, in the academic sense, it is somebody who has expertise in the various modes of recitation, the sab'a and ashara qira'at. And somebody who has been authorized, yani he has ijazah and authorization from other qurra and asatidha and teachers that you are an expert and you can now recite in these different modes of recitation. So inshallah, before we begin the program, for the sake of listening to the Quran, and as Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentions, وَفَضْلُ كَلَامِ اللَّهِ عَلَى سَائِلِ الْكَلَامِ كَفَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَى خَلْقِهِ, that the superiority of the kalam of Allah above other forms of speech is like the superiority of Allah Himself over His creation. So inshallah, I would request Maulana Hamza Wardak to begin with the qira'ah of the Quran, recitation, and then we will get into the program inshallah. The program will be about half an hour or so, then will be Q&A, and then we'll have dinner for the community as well inshallah. Jazakallah khairah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وسيق الذين اتقوا ربهم إلى الجنة زمرا حتى إذا جاءوها وفتحت أبوابها حتى إذا جاءوها وفتحت أبوابها وقال لهم خزنتها سلام عليكم طبتم فادخلوها خالدين. وقالوا الحمد لله الذي صدقنا وعده وأورثنا الأرض نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء فنعم أجر العاملين. وسيق الذين اتقوا ربهم إلى الجنة زمرا حتى إذا جاءوها وفتحت أبوابها وقال لهم خزنتها سلام عليكم طبتم فادخلوها خالدين. وقالوا الحمد لله الذي صدقنا وعده وأورثنا الأرض نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء فنعم أجر العاملين. وترى الملائكة حافين من حول العرش يسبحون بحمد ربهم وقضي بينهم بالحق وقيل الحمد لله رب العالمين. صدق الله العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. My dear respected brothers, elders, youngsters and sisters, Alhamdulillah, we are here with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it must be said that we are very thankful to the community here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all, the imams and the board and the community here, for allowing us to do this program here at the masjid. Alhamdulillah, we came here on behalf of Ihsan Coaching, and we were hosted by Institute of Noble Knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them as well. They also are here with us, mashallah, and they've been with us since the beginning of our trip here. And what we are doing with Ihsan Coaching, my dear respected listeners, is providing coaching for the community when it comes to individual coaching, premarital coaching, marital coaching. We're going to talk about this in detail, and also religious consultation. But just a little bit of a background that our Muslim community, just like the other communities out there, are in crisis when it comes to marriage. That Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us a lifestyle to live by, but because of swaying away from that, we are now in a crisis and we need religious help as well as, professional help to help us maneuver back on track, to help the Muslim community get back on track when it comes to fulfilling the rights of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is just one of those branches. So Ihsan Coaching, alhamdulillah, started about a few years ago. We're an online platform, less than 2 years ago. And what we do is we combine traditional Islamic knowledge with professional skills that we have, that we offer us as coaches, because every single one of us is a registered social worker or therapist. And what we offer the Muslim community online are solutions to help them in their lives, solutions for their marriages, solutions for their individual selves, solutions in order for them to understand what they're getting into if they are getting married, so the premarital coaching. And the beauty of this is that we are, alhamdulillah, teaching that which we've already been told by Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're just corroborating it with professional skills, professional knowledge. So the divine revelation that we have does not need the assistance of this professionalism, but it's just combined to show that, alhamdulillah, the research that we provide, the background that we come from, also coincides with the book of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we just need to come onto this track. So, for the sake of everyone here, myself as an imam in Toronto, what actually happened is when I just started as a young imam, and I still am young, alhamdulillah, but what happened is I saw that a lot of couples and individuals are coming in for actual counseling, and they need assistance, and that's taking up a lot of time. So I realized, you know what, I need to advance my skills in this. Went to university and alhamdulillah became a registered social worker, providing that service for the community. And now mashallah with Ihsan Coaching, we're doing basically US wide. And we call it coaching for that purpose as well, so that we don't have to be responsible for all of the, the jargon that comes with, calling ourselves counselors or therapists for the whole of US, because that's, every state is different, etc. But our Muslim community is in dire need of this. So this is, alhamdulillah, something that we provide, and when we go around the states and we share this with masajid, that obviously your first responders are your imams. That's what they're here for, alhamdulillah, to provide you that religious assistance. But they, mashallah, are teaching and leading and doing so many other programs. Sometimes a case or two or many cases in the community are very complicated. You might have a family friend, you might have a relative who is going through a complicated case. So now, alhamdulillah, we could refer to this platform here, which is online, and alhamdulillah, with which we have myself, Brother Farhan, the founder, who's here, and then we have sisters with us who are also therapists and providing, for counseling, or providing coaching for the sisters as well. So that's what, alhamdulillah, the basics of what we provide at Ihsan Coaching. The reason why we do this, alhamdulillah, each and every single one of us has our own, we have our families, we have our own full-time positions elsewhere. This is like, something that we do as a passion for the Muslim community, as a responsibility as well. Right? So the reason for this is that the collapse of marriage in the Muslim community is a huge problem. Almost 1 in 3 couples getting divorced. And I heard this from a very big scholar in the US. He says that when I perform the nikah of a bride and groom to be, I'm just thinking in this moment, how long is this going to last? This is a big problem in the Muslim community. Yes, the problem is there in the mainstream society, but we have the tools, we have the solutions, and our case should not be the same. But we're not much different. Our stats are not much different from mainstream society when it comes to the divorce rate. And this is not good. And then there are some main reasons for marital discord which are usually not talked about, not discussed even before marriage. And these are some very, very important points. So the 5 main reasons, and again, this is all backed up. Whatever we do, alhamdulillah, whatever we say here is all backed up. So our therapists, each and every single one of us, were also certified by the Gottman Institute. And what they've done is they're individuals, they're mashallah therapists doing very great work in the whole of US. They've written great books as well. And they've done, they've been through thousands of cases, and they found a few things in all of the cases. They've summarized basically the problems in the cases, and then how to tackle these problems and the solutions for these problems. That's what we're going to basically do a gist of covering just that for tonight. So some of the main reasons for marital discord: finances. Finances. A lot of us, we don't discuss finances before marriage. And we're going to get into this as well. Finances doesn't mean that you're marrying a wife or a husband who is very wealthy. But just discussing, for example, who's going to be bringing the income home, right? What is the wife's expectations from the husband? What is the husband's expectations from the wife? What does Islam say that nafaqa and sukna, which is expenditure, and shelter, which is the responsibility and the fard of the man, is that being fulfilled for the woman? And then if the woman is assisting, so for example, we live in Toronto, inflation is, up the roof. And nowadays, many cases, the muftis say that, if she can work with in an Islamic setting, or in a setting where she could apply hijab, etc., and she assists, then that's fine, but she's actually giving up her right. There's so many things. We can stop the rest of the slides and talk about finances right now. So this is a very important discussion to be had even before marriage, before getting married, and even during marriage. Usually it's a taboo topic, but this should be discussed. What are the expectations to be had? What does Islam say, etc., about finances? How much the husband has to provide, etc. Then another main reason, main cause, is intimacy. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not shy away from explaining to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum the importance of intimacy with the wives. The importance of, that love and that connection, the affection between the relationship. As a matter of fact, there's a famous discussion in hadith that Aisha radiallahu anha, she says that, unique story, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would kiss some of his wives, ba'la nisa'ihi, some of his wives, and he would perform the salah. So there's that famous discussion of whether touching the wife breaks the wudu or not. So Urwa, who was a nephew of Aisha radiallahu anha, he asked Aisha, that was you, right? That was you. And Aisha radiallahu anha, she basically blushed and she was kind of hiding that fact. But the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very intimate with his wives, and he did not shy away about explaining and expressing this with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Aisha radiallahu anha, who holds silver in narrating the most ahadith after Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, is explaining to the people, her students, that this was the affection that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed. I come from the Afghani background, right? The system in the Afghani background is the husband has to be dead when it comes to intimacy. He has to show zero intimacy whatsoever, right? And this is again against Sunnah, against the teachings of Deen. And we find, subhanallah, lo and behold, it's one of the biggest problems when it comes to discords in marriage, marital discord. Another issue that we have is family and friends. So I discussed this yesterday. I got a very good question about it. So Allah says in the Quran, Mufti Abdullah explained it yesterday, mashallah. Allah says in the Quran, when there is discord, then bring a judge from his family and a judge from her family. However, again, the point is that there should be an unbiased opinion when it comes to the third party that you're getting involved when there is a discord that you, the husband and wife, cannot solve. However, it's recommended, because of the times that we're living in, because of the situation that we are in now, it's ideal to not get family and friends involved in your relationship. Rather have a third party like the imam, like a counselor, like alhamdulillah we are here as well, or a therapist, and they will give you an unbiased opinion on how to solve the situation. Because the mother will always take the side of her child, no matter how wrong he is or she is. The friend will always take your side, no matter how wrong she is or he is. And this is what we see throughout our coaching experience, that, the friend was the one who started, you know what, you can leave him, you can leave her, you're better than that, you're better than him, you're better than her. And it was the whisperings, right? Allah says that there are shayateen from the jinn and there are shayateen from the humans. So these whisperings come from these different avenues. In-laws is a big, challenge, right? There's certain system of Allah that the mother-in-law usually does not really, 100% accept everything that the daughter-in-law does. They look at it with an eye of objection. So to manage your own relationship, don't get the in-laws involved, etc. So we discuss these things in detail when we do our coaching. And then interests. So what they say is basically, what you like and what she likes, and that's something that we're going to get to inshallah afterwards, is the highest level of connection and relationship between the husband and wife is when they are ready to fulfill the other's dreams. Right? And as a matter of fact, when there's this disconnection, right, they say 80% of divorces take place because of, let me just ask this, what do you think? A lot of us would say 80% of divorces would take place because of cheating. Right? A lot of us would think because of cheating. Any other thoughts? Sorry? Compatibility, very close. All right? Emotional distance, which is basically almost the same thing. The emotional distance that's there between the husband and wife, it just gets worse and worse, and therefore it just ends up in going into divorce. So those are basically just the gist of the 5 main reasons for marital discourse. This is what's happening and what we tackle with Ihsan coaching. Another problem is couples, we're usually not working on our marriage. Like the way it is, we're not trying to improve. Us as husbands, we're not trying to step up and improve. As wives, we're not trying to step up and improve. This is a problem. So what happens is, you hear this in therapy, they teach us as well, that when there are constant fights, so it leads up to contempt and you have this hate. And you have this ill feeling towards your partner, and those ill feelings, you've never tried to tackle them. It's always that elephant in the room because of which you're always hostile with your partner. So we're not trying to improve and work on the relationship. And that's what we do with Ihsan coaching, is we provide solution-focused coaching. And then there's another thing as well. Shaitan comes to us and says, you know what? Get rid of this individual, the next marriage will work. Get rid of this individual, the next marriage will work. So there's a funny example about this, right? So they say that, for example, Muhammad married Fatima, right? And what happened is, Muhammad, he says, you know what? I wish I didn't have this Fatima, because she just, when we go to any da'wat or anything, she just becomes very loud and she just loses, her basically modesty, etc. And she's just talking and very loudly, and I'm not really happy with that. The challenge is that if Muhammad was married to Aisha, right, then they wouldn't even end up going to those da'wats, because Aisha would be upset with him because of a problem the night before. So there's always going to be some issue, and vice versa as well. If Fatima married Muhammad and she didn't like Muhammad because Muhammad chills with his friends and then he does a wrong thing. He smokes, for example, and she doesn't like that about him. But if she married Abdullah, he would have been, even worse in another situation. So we have to remember that we're all full of flaws, right? And as a matter of fact, statistics show that if you actually separate from your first wife or your first husband and you get married again, there's a higher chance of, almost 20% more higher chance of getting divorced the second time, and then increases the third time. And then, so this is the whisperings of shaitan, right? What is his greatest achievement every single night? In the hadith of Sahih Muslim, when he sits on his throne in the ocean, what does he wait for? He takes karguzari, he asks every one of his devils, what have you done today? All right? And then what happens when that one devil in the back, he raises his hand, he stands up and he says, I've caused separation between a husband and wife. He gets up and he embraces him. He said, you're the man. Because this is his greatest achievement, to cause that problem in between the husband and wife and to collapse, make the relationship collapse, and collapse a family. When you collapse a family, society is collapsed, Muslim society. So what we offer here first is premarital coaching for the youngsters, mashallah, that are looking to get married. Alhamdulillah, this has been proven to be very, very successful. 92% of the couples have reported that premarital counseling was very helpful during the first year of marriage. Remember, the first 3 years of marriage are the most turbulent. You're getting to know the person, you see the negativities, you see the negative side, you see the other side of the person. So the first 3 years are usually very turbulent, right? Those of us that are married can probably recall, the first year of marriage, I found this out, I found this out, I found this out. So, alhamdulillah, 92% of them that have done premarital coaching, they've said, mashallah, that it was very beneficial in the first year. And 80% of couples reported 4 years later, so they've made it. They've passed the 3 years, so they've made it, mashallah. Our teachers used to say that similar thing in the Alamiya program. For our students that are studying Islamic studies, the first 3 years, if it's a 7-year program, the first 3 years, you're going uphill. If you fall back down, that's it, you're gone, you're not going to continue. 4th year is barzakh. 4th year is barzakh. And 5th year, mashallah, if you've gotten there, you're going to go downhill. Hifz is the same. Hifz al-Quran, first 10 years uphill, second 10 years is straight, and then last 10 juz, mashallah, not years. First 10 juz, second 10 juz, and then last 10 juz is downhill, mashallah. I hope you don't take 3 years for each 10 juz. Nevertheless, so 80% of couples reported 4 years later that, alhamdulillah, was very beneficial. We've done about 40 plus couples in our premarital program, and 9 have called it off before nikah. And you're probably thinking, Shaykh, how is that a good thing? Right? But the reality is, they've realized we're not compatible. I'm marrying her, for example, because my parents are saying so. I'm not even, fond of her. Or I'm marrying him because my parents are saying so. So when we have, multiple sessions in the premarital coaching, 9 or now 10, alhamdulillah, have called it off before getting the nikah done. And we've had these scenarios as well. And of relatives and families where they got the nikah done and then she speaks up that I don't want to live with this guy. Or he speaks up that I don't want her anymore. And you're just scratching your head thinking, why would you get the nikah done, pay for the thousands of dollars of the walima, etc.? So alhamdulillah, this basically does damage control. In Malaysia, you have to get premarital coaching done before getting married. Husband and wife, separately. We don't have anything like that here. So this is very, very important for our Muslim community. So when it comes to now marital coaching, in marital coaching we talk about the relationship. There are 2 types of individuals in a marital relationship. Number 1 is Mr. Master and Mrs. Master. She and he have mastered their relationship. They know the do's and the don'ts, the ins and outs, where they have to control themselves, where they compromise, where they have to address certain issues in certain ways. We're going to come to that inshallah. What are the masters of relationship? Then there's the other bichara, Mr. Disaster and Mrs. Disaster. That everything, for example, is a fight, everything is a problem, and everything is just not going well. And this is something very, very important. And alhamdulillah, we're going to summarize it and not take too much time. As subhanallah, I wanted to wrap it up in 45, 50 minutes, but mashallah, time is flying. The first thing, masters of relationship. So you could probably not read that, but I'll explain to you in brief that the masters of relationship, they build their relationship to be a house. It's called a sound relationship house. Their relationship is this full house, this full structure. The 2 pillars of this house, number 1 is trust. That trust meaning that this person is there for me. The wife says that this husband of mine, he is there for me. He wants my good. And the husband thinks as well that this wife of mine, she wants my good. And I can trust her with anything. This is a very important aspect of marriage, trust. The second is commitment, that no matter what we go through, we're going to make sure and we're going to find a solution to make this marriage work. No matter what I go through with this individual, I will make it a point that I will, inshallah, get through the problem that we are facing, and I am committed to this relationship until Jannah. Nowadays, a lot of youth ask this question, subhanallah, it's coming back online and stuff. This temporary nikah, subhanallah, ajib. And they're asking, about I'm trying to get married, but I'm not sure if I want to live with her forever, etc. Again, Islam is very complete. You get married to live with her forever. Remember, we're not eternal beings, but we're everlasting. We're going to be with them in Jannah as well, inshallah, with our partners. So Islam is very complete because you have to be committed. If you're not committed, there's no pillar of the house. The house is falling, it's going to collapse, it's going to break. And then, so you have the 2 pillars, but the 2 pillars are not enough because the construction is not done. So you have 3 floors. You have 3 floors of this house. You have 3 basically separate levels. The first is friendship. in a relationship, right? In a relationship, there has to be friendship. You have to please one another. You have to befriend one another. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us, hadith of Sahih Muslim, that لا يفرق مؤمن مؤمنة, that a believing man cannot dislike a believing woman. إن كره منها خلقا رضي منها آخر. If he dislikes a certain trait of hers, he will like another. Right? Similarly for a wife, you'll find faults. We're all full of faults. That's why if you want to know your faults, you ask your spouse. If you want to work on yourself, ask your spouse, name me my faults and I'll work on those. Right? So the first foundation is friendship. In friendship, you have, enhancing our love maps, and we're going to talk about that. Number one is enhancing the love maps to, nurture this friendship. Number two, fondness and admiration. And then number three is in conversation with the spouse, we turn towards each other. Right? Hadith of Adab al-Mufrad, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Shama'il as well. When he would turn completely to the person. Right? Someone's talking to me, right, and you're just sitting like this, and he's talking to you over here. How is he going to feel? How is she going to feel? So when we're talking to our spouse, when we're talking to anyone, right? That's why even in therapy and counseling, right? Yes, you're supposed to be looking at your client, and basically seeing their reactions and everything like that. So it's very important to turn towards each other and not turning away. The second foundation, second level. So friendship has been attained, and we're trying to build a good, happy relationship together and trying to keep each other happy. The second foundation is managing conflict. Remember, it doesn't say solving conflict. They say 2/3 of the problems in marriage are not solvable. You cannot solve them. Why? Because Allah has created us differently. You're marrying a human being that's very different from you. You're not marrying your own clone. You're not marrying someone that's exactly like you. They actually state that if you were to marry a clone of yourself, you wouldn't like him. Now, I'll give you my own example, right? So I am a guy, I don't like talking too much. Anyone talks to me too much, I get a headache, right? But if I were to have someone, so you already know the ishara here, right? If I were to have someone who's very quiet, there would be no conversation. We'd just be like looking at each other, or looking at the wall, right? So we have different, ideologies, different, nature, different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us very, very differently for all of us. So they say if you marry your own clone, you wouldn't like them. So in managing conflict, right? It's not to solve all problems. It's to solve the solvable problems. To solve those 1/3 of problems that are solvable. The others where there's gridlock, you just have to manage living with them. There's some problems, for example, you don't like chai. You don't even like the smell of chai. It's crazy, but I'm just giving a random example. But she loves chai. And she makes chai every day. Right? Now you can argue about chai and say, I don't like this smell till the cows come home. She's going to make her chai. Because she loves it. She's almost addicted to it. Right? In Afghanis, green tea is an addiction. So you have to be able to manage this problem because it's unsolvable. And then when it comes to managing conflict as well, let your partner influence you, right? To discuss the problem in such a way where you are now addressing it from the partner's shoes. How Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Sahaba would come, they ask the same question, Awsini, give me advice, or give me some short advice, or something along those lines, and he would address the companion according to their need. Don't get angry. So the scholars say it's because the Sahabi possibly had this issue of anger. So this is very, very important. And to overcome gridlock. So again, you have these issues that you are stuck with. You cannot solve these problems, to just kind of live with them. And again, Allah says in over 200 verses of the Quran, what? Patience. Sabr. If there's no sabr, marriage is going to collapse. Right? So, and then the third, which is the highest level in this house, after this level, the house is complete, is a shared meaning. When you are now living a life of living a marriage which is purposeful. You want to fulfill her dreams, she wants to fulfill your dreams. She wants to go Turkey, you want to go Hajj, she wants to go for Umrah, and you are now trying to fulfill those dreams together. You have a purpose of your marriage. Like Allah has given, like the Muslim can never get tired, because we always have a purpose, which is pleasing Allah, right? That's why Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah says that the believer does not have a moment of relaxing until death. That's when we relax. Similarly, if this marriage has purpose, we're trying to fulfill each other's dreams, 10-year plan, 15-year plan. Together, we're going to fulfill this plan, fulfill this dream. And this is the complete structure of a master of relationship. Then you have, we talked a bit about friendship, enhancing your love maps, learning more about your partner, asking open-ended questions, right? Like, what do you feel about, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? In knowledge, obviously, you're getting knowledge of your partner, you're trying to understand them, there's strength in this, and this is very, very important. Fondness, admiration. How do you feel about your spouse? Right, before marriage as well, what is لِجَمَالِهَا, the beauty of the woman and attraction is very, very important. Yeah, that's not the main purpose, but that is one of the 4 things that you're supposed to look at. So how do you feel about your spouse? When you're interacting with them, appreciate small actions. Jazakumullahu khairan for this. Allah bless you for this. Appreciate these actions. Express your feelings. A lot of times, us men folk especially, right, it's our habit to kind of keep our feelings within us, because we feel that we're going against our manlyhood if we express our sorrow or our grief or our anxiety or sadness about something. But no, we should share that with them. And we talked about turning towards each other instead of away from each other. And then now we come to the disaster of relationships. SubhanAllah, my 45 minutes are up, but just briefly discussing this, inshallah. And here, the first problem is the way we start our conversation. Harsh startups. You come home and you're just enraged and you just start screaming. Right? Even if you hear something positive in that scenario, it's going to go negative. You're going to take it negatively because you're enraged. So when we're starting a conversation, for example, you saw that something went wrong that day at home, that the house wasn't tidy, or you came home late from work, the food wasn't ready. Right? So you just come home, instead of going to a flare and just killing it, you come home and you ask, what happened today? I'm just, should we grab some food from outside? Is everything okay? You could address it very, very differently. Majority of the problems are that many times where there was a fight, all there had to be was a conversation. Instead of a conversation, a fight took place, and boom, he just dished out the words of divorce, and now they're coming to the mufti and trying to find a solution. So, harsh startups and distraction by the wired world, right? We're working all day, and then when we're at home with our families, we're still on our phones. This is not healthy, right? Even our kids, with our kids as well, right? They have gadgets, they have their phones. I tell parents all the time, if your child is not in university, they don't need a phone, right? They come to the masjid as well for evening classes with their phone. Why are you bringing your phone? We have the masjid phone, we have my phone. Oh, I need to talk to my mom. MashaAllah. Yeah, right. So, distraction by the wired world. This is destroying relationships. We don't have time to talk about this. Then we have the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, the 4 main disasters of a relationship. Number 1, criticism. You are like this, and you did this, and you, and you, and you. Rasulullah ﷺ, when he was upset, you know how he would start his khutbah? Ma balu aqwam. What is the matter with certain people? Subhanallah. What is the matter with certain people? Not addressing anta hakadha, you are like this and you are like that. So what is the correct way of doing? Express yourself. Today I feel really hurt that, I came home, I brought, all of these groceries and, I didn't get any help, etc. Instead of saying, I came home, you saw me with the groceries, right? You couldn't even lift a finger, etc., etc. So you get the point. And then contempt, like I talked about this earlier, that hate, that ill feeling towards the partner because of what they've done, and you haven't expressed that to them. So what you have to do, the opposite of this, appreciation. Sometimes even if it's not in your heart, just say it, right? Just say it, and appreciate what your partner is doing for you, right? And then there's defensiveness. To be defensive. Our ego, subhanAllah, is destructive. Our pride. That she tells you, for example, you didn't make your bed before going, or you didn't clean it. You just came home and left your jacket on the floor, and the child came and slipped on it. Well, you should have done it, or you didn't do this, and what are we doing? We're being defensive. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I should have done that. Very simple. So taking responsibility, right? If we're wrong, suck it up and tell your wife that, you know what, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. So taking responsibility is very important. Again, we're trying to save our relationship from going into, all these problems. The other day I heard, subhanAllah, Mufti Sahibs are here. So the couple, they got into a heated argument, and the man said it 3 times, maybe 9. And then what happens, he comes to a certain person, and the certain person said, no, it's fine, you said it in anger. It's fine because you said it in anger. So I told him, subhanallah, so the only way talaq can occur if he says it in happiness. Is that what you're telling him? Ajib, right? Fatwa from the Bartwa. Ji. So the summary of what we've discussed, alhamdulillah, that happy marriages are built upon a deep friendship. Right? This is the teachings of Sunnah, this is the teachings of the Quran, right? Positive sentiment override, we can discuss that in detail as well. But again, to be in a positive mood, whatever happened at work, you leave it behind you, come into the home in a positive mood, then you can tackle even a negative problem because you're in a good mood. Intimacy is very, very important. In-laws, be very careful, right? And obviously, showing our love for, and being very careful with all of our family members when it comes to our relationship. Why? Because if one problem goes out to in-laws, you could have solved that problem between yourselves, but they'll always remember it. They'll never forget, right? And it'll always stay on their minds. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to, have our relationships according to the sunnah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it such that we are living relationships which are blissful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect each and every single one of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our efforts, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all for listening and being here. Jazakumullahu khair.
Jazakallah khairah to Maulana Hamza. And inshallah we'll have a few minutes for Q&A. Just a few points before that. MashaAllah, a very serious topic, and talaq is not something which we necessarily want to listen to or hear about, but it is necessary to know what we can do to prevent that. And even the hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentions, right, that talaq is abghadul halal, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this outlet, but only when there is no other way out. Right? And this is also a balance, because the Muslim Ummah and Islam, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا, right? This is the balanced approach, because there are faiths and there are belief systems which does not allow for divorce. Meaning once you're married, no matter what, you cannot separate. But in Hinduism, for example, they cannot separate. There is no divorce. So, and then there's other relationships where there's no such thing as marriage. Right? For example, I was reading about, I believe it was Sweden recently, that the marriage rate in the past decade has plummeted very sharply, where only 10 or 20% of young men and women feel the need to get married. So what's the point of getting married? Right? So it is necessary, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to practice upon what has been said to save our marriages. And the one point that Maulana Hamza mentioned, which was we have to work on our marriages. Right? We have to do whatever is possible to maintain and to make sure that we protect these relationships. And not to think that the grass is greener on the other side. Right? That, oh, you know what, I'll find somebody else. This is not the person for me, I can find somebody else. There's once a person, he visited a mental institution. Right? Just taking a tour. So the warden was taking him around. They came across one room. He peeked inside. The person inside, and he was saying, Fatima, Fatima, Fatima. Doing zikr of Fatima. So, there's a new tasbih Fatima. So, he said, what's wrong with this guy? He said, oh, this guy, he had a girl that he liked. Her name was Fatima. But she left him. She rejected him. So since then, he's been heartbroken, and he went into this mental state, where that's it, he just can't get over her, and he's just spending his life like that. I said, oh, subhanallah. They go to the next room. And this guy is a full-on maniac. Right? He's jumping across the room, hanging his head on the wall, just straight up mental, going crazy. So the person asked the warden, he said, what's wrong with this guy? He said, oh, this guy, he married Fatima. You understand? To the sisters, of course, this is just a joke. We can flip it around. We can make the example of it around. This guy married Fatima, right? So, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave and made our wife, and our wife to be, our spouses to be, husband to be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we have created the spouse for you. Just like how as Allah decreed our rizq, He has decreed our sustenance, right? Allah knows it as an ilm, and He has decreed our rizq, our sustenance, when we're going to die, when we're going to live, so on and so forth. Allah has also made our spouses. And Allah has also created that. There's a joke, right? The young brothers and sisters, they share these memes sometime, right? They say to the future spouse, you can stop playing hide and seek now, right? So, who Allah has given us, that is it. We have to make it work, inshaAllah. Right? That is the first thing, because we shouldn't think somebody else. You understand? There's a lot more jokes, but inshaAllah, we can wrap it up. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to strengthen our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost, and with our family members, our spouses, our children, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our siblings. Right? One last example that one of the ulama, he shared, he said marriage is like a triangle. Marriage is like a triangle. On one side you have the husband, on the other side you have the wife, right? And at the top you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the closer you both work towards getting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in actuality you're getting closer to each other. The closer you're working towards Allah, the closer you're getting to each other as well. So may Allah give us the ability to enhance our spirituality and all aspects of our deen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Are there any questions from the crowd?
Alhamdulillah, we have our pamphlets as well, inshallah, that we can distribute. We can leave it on the table there. You can grab a pamphlet, you can share with family, friends. And we also want to send around, inshallah, the mailing list. We want to take the emails of the brothers and sisters, but this is not to spam your email, it's just to send you beneficial articles, inshallah, in the future, videos and very important points about Ihsan coaching and what we're doing for the community, inshallah. So we're going to send that around. Jazakumullahu khairan once again. Any questions? Yes, mashallah. So, inshallah. So we're going to call our founder, Brother Farhan, mashallah, who has a master's in mental health, and mashallah, he's been doing this for much longer than I have, and he's going to answer some of the questions, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you're asking about the structure, right? So we do 5 sessions for $500. So in the first session, we have both couples that are online with us, and we have a questionnaire that we go through. So we go through, like Maulana Hamza mentioned, the 5 main reasons for marital discord, and then we go through a lot of more questions that we find that there's issues, within the relationship. So for instance, we'll talk about expectations, right? What is your expectation from a spouse? Often what we hear is who's married, who's not married over here? Anybody not married? All right. When I ask you a question, what are your expectations from a spouse? How would you answer that? Right? They either say I keep it low, or I'm looking for a best friend, I'm looking for a companion. These are what we call cute answers. They don't tell us anything, what you're actually looking for. So we want to question them. We want to ask them, are you looking for a spouse that's working? Are you looking for 50-50? Are you looking for a person that's going to be taking care of the household? Right? We're asking all of these things to really get them to understand what is it that they're looking for. That's one aspect. But what about the question of debt? A lot of people go to college. Who's paying for your debt? Is your husband expected to pay for your debt? Is your wife expected to contribute? Right? That's another thing. What about bank accounts? Are you guys having one bank account, multiple bank accounts? What are you doing with that? What about in-laws? What's their expectation of your spouse and their relationship with your parents? Right? So we go through an array of questions, various questions. Then in the second and third sessions, what we do is we break up the couple, we split them up, and we talk to them individually. The reason being is because we want to know now, like, what do they think about the first session? Are they ready for marriage? Was there any discrepancies? Anything they're thinking? Even previous relationships. Because unfortunately, a lot of Muslims have gotten into have dated or so forth, right? So we want to make sure that they're actually ready and this is somebody that they actually want to marry. Because we found out that a lot of times, this is just a rebound. This is just somebody they're just getting married to because their parents accepted, but they don't really actually want to marry this person. Then in the fourth session, what we do is we bring back the couple together, and now we talk about any potential issues that we noticed so that we can help them. Or what we do is we ask them, do they think they're a compatible match? And 9 of those couples, they actually told us themselves that we don't think we're compatible. It's not us telling them that. They realize it through the sessions that they should not progress this any further. And then in our last session, what we do, actually in the fourth session, let's say that they are a good match. Then what we do is we talk about love languages. We talk about these things that Mullah Hamza went over today, making sure that they know what to expect in a marriage. How many of our parents actually sat us down and talked to us about what marriage is like? What are the do's and don'ts of marriage, right? The 4 horsemen of apocalypse, love languages, all of these things. So I always tell people there's 3 things that you'll get out of this. 1 out of 3 things. Either number 1, you'll figure out that this person is the best match for you. That this one person there's nobody better than this person for me, right? So you're more firm in your decision. Or number two, you're going to realize that you're just dodging a bullet. That this is, alhamdulillah, I realize that this person is not right for me, and, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved me from this. Or number three, which is the most common scenario, that yes, this person is good for me, but you know what? We have these various issues that we need to work out before we get married. So that's not it doesn't become a bigger problem inside the marriage. So one of these three scenarios is going to play out. And then our fifth session, we have a religious consultant, our Mufti Saab, who we have a couple of scholars on our team as well, besides Mullah Hamza, who talk about everything from an Islamic perspective. So any questions that you have from an Islamic perspective, they'll talk to you about that. And also tell you the rights of a husband, rights of a wife, and also, if you were to separate, what's the best way to separate, right, Islamically. So this is how we structured it. So it's a very structured program that we go through. So one last thing I'll say about this is that I talked to many lawyers. The average divorce costs $5,000. $5,000. This program, if you want to go through us, only $500. You don't even have to go through us. Go to somebody. That's what I tell people. We're trying to be preventative here. You don't want to go through us? Just go to somebody that's trained in this, because we want to be preventative. Prevention is better than the cure. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, we're open to seeing anybody. So if a non-Muslim wants to use our services, alhamdulillah, welcome, marhaban. I've been practicing for 9 years, so I've seen non-Muslims as well, but Ihsan Coaching, I formed it about less than 2 years ago. Since I've started Ihsan Coaching, we haven't had any non-Muslims, but previously when I was at another practice, we would see a lot of non-Muslims as well. So it's open to anybody, but we're just really trying to be a resource to Muslims, right? Because Muslims, they feel more comfortable going to somebody that might understand their culture, understand their religion. And we have about what depends who you ask, 4 to 7 million Muslims in this country. And who's helping them, right? I grew up in a small town in Springfield, Ohio. Only 50 Muslim families. We never had resources like this. Even in Ohio, in many places, they still don't have Muslim therapists or Muslim coaches, right? Anybody to help them. We get calls from Alabama. We get calls from Iowa, Idaho, places where there's Muslims, but no Muslim resources. So alhamdulillah, that's why we created this, so that Muslims have a place to go to no matter where they are in the world. So this is all remote, all online, provided by, mashallah, people who have studied the deen as well.
Take inshallah, jazakallah khairah, will end off the program. And once again, we would like to thank Sheikh Ahmed, Mufti Anas, and all the community, inshallah, for hosting us. And we hope to, inshallah, continue to collaborate and do programs in the future. There's dinner as well, and also Brother Farhan and Mona Hamza and the other ulama will be here, inshallah. So when we grab some food, we can, inshallah, continue to ask questions and interact and so on and so forth. There's also a stall with some very interesting books, as well as some other items for sale, inshallah, so you can check that out as well. Jazakallah khairah. If the sisters have any questions, they can go to the website, inkbaltimore.com, and there is a tab there to submit questions. So inshallah, you can submit the questions through that link, and if you do that now, then we can answer the question now. Otherwise, inshallah, we can email you the answers, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakumullahu khairan. What a beautiful talk. Brother visiting us from Canada and working, mashallah, for the benefit of the community. it's a blessing, and it's a blessing for us that we got the opportunity with the support of Ink Foundation. Special thanks to Mufti Abdullah and his team of Ink Foundation that they brought in Maulana Hamza and benefited us. Jazakumullahu khairan.